today's video, I'm going to just be showing you guys like some basic steps to get you started with layering your units. If you are going to be creating wigs and you know, making wigs for clients and customers, you definitely want to know how to add some layers to your units. And yeah, we're just going to go ahead and get started with that. So basically, I have here, I'm going to show you guys in a minute when I lower the camera, but I have a this is actually a 12-inch wig that I just created, and I'm going to add some layers to it. I do suggest, especially, you know, when you're just starting out and you're getting used to making layers, I do suggest starting with short hair. So I wouldn't do anything longer than like a 16-inch to start out with, just to get comfortable cutting your layers. I know cutting is very intimidating, at least it was for me. When I first started, I was trying to do it on my own, and my units, everything was just a hot mess. So I basically took a course and I learned how to do the basics of cutting, and that's pretty much what I'm going to show you today. And you can use that, practice with those techniques, and as you practice, you'll get more comfortable cutting, and as you get more comfortable cutting, you'll be able to do more, you know, freestyling, adding more layers and things like that. So I'm going to basically show you how to add like long layers. We're not going to go crazy with the layers. We're just going to do long layers, because once you learn that, like I said, you can practice, and then you'll be able to get more comfortable and create more layers that you want, you know, when you're creating new styles and new looks. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. All right, so I decided to come in and do a voiceover, because trying to do the cut and explain it to you guys was a lot harder than I thought it would be. So I'm going to just tell you exactly what I'm doing. So right now I have my scissors, my razor comb, and a regular comb. So I'm going to use those three things to help me with my cut. And like I said, we're just going in to create some long layers, nothing crazy. This is a really good starting point. We're not going to be taking off much hair at all, just enough to make a difference with our curls. All right, so I'm going to start with the razor, and starting with the razor is a lot better than just going in with scissors at first. Especially when I first started, I used to just use the scissors, and I would notice that it would create like a harsh cut in the front. The layers wouldn't be as soft as I wanted it to be, and the curls wouldn't lay the way that I wanted it to. And after I took my course and I learned to go in with a razor comb first, it made a world of difference. So I would definitely suggest using the razor in the front, and that will help you to create soft layers in the front. So a key point is to start below the nose. And I'm just going to take the razor and I'm just going to cut straight down. After that, I'm going to add another small section to it. And then I'm going to razor it down again. Okay, and this is how the front is looking right now. You can see how it kind of goes back. It's like, you know, blending in. You're getting a nice soft effect in the front. And that's what we're going for. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in with my scissors and kind of just clean up the ends of that front cut that we just did. So I'm just holding it at an angle, and then I'm just going down and just cleaning up the ends of that front cut. And everything is starting to come together, and the front looks really good. And then I'm going to move on to the sides and show you guys how to just take off just a little bit of the ends of the hair. So now I'm going to section off a part here. And what I'm going to do is the front section that we just cut, I am going to use that as a guide. So I'm going to add a piece of that cut hair to some new hair on the side, and I'm going to use that as a guide to cut around. So the short piece that's in the front is from the front hairs that we just cut. And I'm going to drag my hand down as I'm cutting. That way I'm not taking off too much hair, to start with. I don't want to take off too much hair. I'm just cutting the ends. So I'm using that front piece as a guide, that shorter piece. And I'm going to cut the ends and drag my hand down as I do it. That way I'm not taking off too much hair. And you'll see better what I'm doing as I get around the mannequin. So I'm going to take some hair, some new hair, add a piece of the hair that I just cut to that new hair. And I'm going to use that as a guide, as my starting point where to cut. So that short piece that's right in the front, I'm going to use that as a guide where to start cutting, and I'm going to glide my hand down as I'm taking off those pieces of the hair at the ends. And I'm going to keep doing the same thing around until I get to the middle, and then I'm going to go start on the other side. I know you can't really see exactly what I'm doing. It was like really hard to record this. I might do it again if you guys want. I'll record a better visual for you guys. But right now, I just want you to kind of just get the gist of it. This is just for you guys so you could be able to practice, just so you can have some guidelines for when you're cutting, and just to get your practice on. So I'm going to take some new hair, and I'm going to add a piece of the hair that I just cut from the side. And I'm going to use that as a guide. I'm going to be able to see where my shortest piece is. And that's when I'm going to start cutting. So you see how I can see my short piece there? I'm going to cut the rest of that hair off to meet that. And I'm taking off very little. You can see I'm taking off very little. I don't want to go crazy with this, because when I learned how to do this, it was really, really helpful, because I was able to get a starting point, get a guide of what I'm doing. And as I practiced, I got more comfortable, and then I was able to take off more and more hair, depending on the style and the cut that I was doing. I knew exactly what I was doing, how I wanted the hair to fall, and how it should look. And like I said, taking off this little bit of hair, it makes a difference with your curls. It really, really does. You can see more of what I'm doing right there. Just bring the hair out, and you want to bring the hair, I don't think I mentioned it. You want to bring the hair out, straight back, straight up towards you, straight out, just like that. And then cut. I really hope you guys were able to get the gist of this guide, especially for you guys that do not know how to cut at all. Like when I started, I didn't know what I was doing. I was so scared to cut the hair. And as you get used to cutting, you'll be able to go in, cut off more hair as you like, to get the style and get the look that you're going for. So this is a really good starting point, just to learn the basics, just to get a feel for the cutting and get comfortable with it. Because once you get comfortable cutting, you'll be able to create your styles with ease without worrying about messing up the hair and the cutting part. Because you know that once you cut this hair off, you cannot put it back. So be careful. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take small sections. I'm going to flip up the ends and I'm going to even out the hair. Anything that, the pieces that look too long, like it's not, meeting up, you want to go ahead and just clean it up and just take off those pieces. And I learned to do this just for the simple fact that when you flip up the hair, you're able to get those pieces underneath that you might miss if you just cut it straight down. So you can see the hair looks nice and even for the most part. I'm just cleaning up those ends. And then after I finish with the flipping it up and cutting it, I'm going to bring the hair straight down and then finish the cut. And then I'd like to go into the front and just, make sure the ends are looking really good. So if you want to go back in and cut a little bit more in the front, you definitely can. And then just going straight down just to check my cut pretty much, just to make sure that everything is looking good. And at this point, when I get to this point, the hair is like pretty much even. It's really not much for me to just, to cut off. I might just clip a little tiny millimeter off the ends, but for the most part of it, it's pretty even by the time I get to this part. All right, and this is how it looks after I'm done. You can see the cut. It looks really good. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to start to curl this. So I'm just adding some frizz-free serum to the hair because I didn't add any product to this hair yet. So I'm going to add that to it and I'm going to grab my curler. I'm going to be using, I think one and a quarter inch curler that I'm going to be using. I just hit it with some heat protectant. And I'm going to grab my hairspray and I'm just going to go in and show you guys how I like to curl the hair. So I'm just going to split the hair in the middle and I'm going to work on each side. And I like to curl the hair inward away from the face. You'll see me do that here. I'm just going to curl away from the face inward towards the middle, making sure that I'm wrapping all the hair through the curler. And I wanted to use this bigger curler because I wanted some nice body curls. That's why I went with the 1 inch and a quarter. And I also do the same thing on the other side. When I get to the other side, I curl inwards towards the middle, away from the face. And I'm going to do that up until the top. All right, so now I'm just gonna grab my comb. I'm gonna grab a white tooth comb and some hairspray. And I like to use some hairspray on the comb as I'm combing out the curls. This is the one that I'm using today. You know, I usually use my Sebastian shaper, but I ran out and I'm using some ion shaper hairspray. And I'm just going to take my comb and I'm just going to start to just comb through those curls. And I'm going to use my hands and everything, and I'm just going to just shape it the way that I want it to look. Sometimes I can do this forever. Just combing through the curls, and you know, I love the way how it looks and everything. This is my silky straight texture. This is a 12-inch silky straight with a 5x5 HD closure with some added highlights to the front. And I hope you guys were able to learn something today. I hope you were able to take something from this video. And you let me know in the comments what other type of videos that you guys want to see, anything that you guys need help with. And yeah, I'm just going to continue to just play with this hair and get it to look the way that I want it to look for my pictures. And yeah, until next time, bye-bye.
Mama told me I'm popping this shit. Mama, I know cause I'm dropping this shit. Mama told me I'm popping this shit. Mama, I know cause I'm dropping this shit. Be with me the whole way tossed. Get out my car. Oh, I'm popping. 007. I keep my rocket. I'm in this beat. Nigga, no way stopping. Get out my car. Oh, I'm popping. 007. I keep my rocket. I'm in this beat. Nigga, no ain't stopping. Big 4K, know how we rock. Tell my bitches I do what I want. Let's go. Couple thousand on bursts and chokers and charms. Heard you got you a buzz down. Hold up. Bro said you got a Mexican plug and he cheap on the phone. It's out of beef. He front the low. Then I'm gone. Down, walk full of diamonds. Car know my own. Why big enough to make it, I swear Let's go. When another nigga hood with a chop with a drum. Like, ooh, okay. I got money, I'm straight. Free T-head and slaughter, see money. Let's go. Like, ooh, okay. Now my mama, she straight. That's the only letter curve I ever had to play. Fell for the hospital, I'm dead in the grave. Too tall, kill T, we ain't catch no face. Walk on the beat like the beat was a maze. Used to add it with perk, I was stuck. Let's go. Walk down, hop in the spray. Every nigga around me, let's go. Walk hard, lock like, ooh, okay. Got an army of shooters and I ain't gotta pay. Dominican big key stuck on my leg. Gone, but down the AP, book up. Let's go.